Hey, what's going on? This is Martone, owner and trainer Fuller Fitness. And with this video, as I complete the rest of the end of my leg workout, is to just make it known, how important it is to take care of your body. Regardless of how much money certain people have and resources certain people have, you don't get a new body. You don't get a new body, especially a real one. So, yes, there's prosthetics, if I'm saying it correctly, and stuff like that, but you only get two arms, two hands, two legs, two knees, 2 feet. You only get but so much of the stuff that you have. And to make sure you actually take care of what you have while you have it. And then even if you had an issue to where you don't, you only got one arm now, one leg now, compared to when you had two. So to still take care of what you have while you have it, preferably trying to get certain things done now, regardless of what your current age is, to try to get stuff done now, before you get hurt, before you get into an accident, before something happens to someone that you love. Before there's some kind of emergency to where you wish you had started doing certain things to take better care of your body, to where you're stronger, faster, healthier, more capable of doing stuff. So, because the interesting thing is, for those of us that are involved in certain things, certain jobs, certain businesses, and having the belief that is instead of depending, I'll just say it like that, instead of depending on spending hundreds of dollars on pills and certain things that you probably don't necessarily need, to just get your butt up and try to get some workouts in. And that's pretty much regardless of what you look like at this point in your life, and what you look like now and what you might want to look like. It's about more than what you look like. It's about what you can actually do. Yes, that's awesome if you look like the sexiest person ever, but to actually be able to do stuff, especially to be able to do stuff by yourself, to do stuff for yourself, as well as if certain things happen, and I'm gonna try not to tell the story that I usually end up telling while talking about stuff like this, even though it's true, to, again, not only to be able to do stuff for and by yourself, but if something happens and there's people that you love, people that you care about, people that you respect, or just a stranger, and certain things happen and you want to help them or feel tempted to help them, especially with something that happened to me almost 3 decades ago, to where I helped someone even though I was kind of hoping to not help them. I didn't know the person needed help, but there was something going on, and I was supposed to be home because it was late. And it was dark, it was late. Well, I don't know if it was late, but it was dark. And for those of us who know, when you're growing up, especially if you're black, when the lights come on, you're supposed to be in the house. So I was in a rush to go home, so I can be in. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but this part, I was supposed to be home. I was right around the corner from where we lived at the time. And I saw this person, and it just seemed like this person was moving so darn slow for whatever the reason. And it was almost like they were waiting for me to get there for some reason. So I'm like, I think I slowed down a little bit, hoping that this person just went to their door or whatever, or walked somewhere else to where I didn't have to deal with them. But for some reason, the closer I got, it felt like something was about to happen. I didn't know what. It kind of had me nervous because I didn't know what the heck it was and whether I have to defend myself from the person. Uh, so I'm going to walk home. All of a sudden, it was like as weird as it might sound when people say it, but it was like something told me to put my arms out for whatever reason. I think I had that feeling and thought that like 2 or 3 times within a short period of time. Like, put your arms out, put your arms out. I put my arms out, and whoever that person was, I don't know the person. I didn't know him then, don't know him now. Her, that woman fell. If I remember correctly, it was an older woman, older enough. She fell, but when I put my arms out, I caught her. And then, she thanked me. She was very appreciative of all this other stuff. But for me, I was like, one, I'm kind of surprised I caught her. Two, that I was strong enough to do it, even though she didn't feel heavy. And in my head, I was like, well, what if it was a bigger person? What if it was a heavier person? So again, that's extreme in terms of how much you, maybe, at least for me, it felt extreme in terms of how serious I took it when that happened. But for me to try to make sure, like, well, let me make sure just in case something like that happens and a person is bigger, heavier, and heavier, that hopefully if that happens again and I actually try to help the person, I'm actually strong enough if somebody's bigger and something like that happens. So that's just me and my way of thinking. There was also another story, but I'm going to try not to tell that one because that one's longer. So again, the point is taking care of your body with high hopes. If some kind of emergency happens, the house is on fire, someone falls, someone gets hurt, and then not only that, any of that stuff possibly happening, just the fact that it's just a good idea, depending on almost regardless of what your age is now, but to start taking care of your body now, so that it's not as challenging later. I used to hear something many times when I was in elementary school, which I believe, especially going almost 40 years old now, not every day is promised. So when it comes to you waiting to do your workouts, to start going to the gym, to work out at home, to where you can work out whenever you want to, instead of waiting till Monday, instead of waiting till January 1st, you don't know if you're going to make it till Monday. That don't mean you rush, but don't know if you're going to make it to Monday to start that new program. Don't know if you're going to make it to January 1st, even though it's April 16th, 2025 now. You don't know if you're going to be able to make it then. So why don't you try to do a better job of taking care of your body now, with high hopes that if you do live longer, to whatever number, let's say 70, that you're as strong and as healthy and as productive as you can be to do certain things, excuse me, certain things, many things yourself without having to wait for someone, whoever, unless you're just that lazy to do it, but not having to wait until some certain people are around to do stuff with or for you, depending on what it is. I don't like putting stuff together, not that this is necessarily relevant. I don't like putting stuff together, but I put this thing together myself. And even though that was very annoying, very frustrating, and I wanted to start breaking stuff, I actually put this power rack together myself. I'm hoping to never do that again, but I'm hoping to never do that again. In fact, when I throw this away and get my next power rack, I'm paying extra for somebody to put that one together. Plus, with the way that rack is, there's a good idea for there to be at least 2 people to put that together anyway. But to take care of your muscles as best as you can now, to take care of your bones as best as you can now, instead of waiting until you're in your 40s, 50s, or older, like so many people have done for decades, if not longer. So that's what my thing is today, this time, anytime, but specifically for this video. It's just for people to just, and that's whether you hire a trainer or not, just for people to, and I actually know of many people many people that should be doing stuff instead of sitting around spending hundreds of dollars on subscriptions and stuff like that, which is unnecessary if people just get their ass up and actually do stuff, or at least try to, instead of depending on any pills. And it seems like, um, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it seems like that's what certain people want. That's what doctors want. It seems like that's what the government wants, for people to be dependent on certain things instead of trying to do the stuff themselves. So, um, again, that's something I've always been against. I might not be the sexiest person in the world, but there's so much stuff that I'm able to do by myself. There's so much stuff I'm able to do for myself, regardless of what I look like. The fact that there's so much stuff I'm able to do, and I've actually shocked myself many times in terms of what I'm capable of, not just with this, but stuff that I've done at certain jobs and going to certain places, and how fast and how strong, and being able to do certain things by myself. I actually get excited about that. So this isn't, depending on how you feel about what I'm saying, this isn't to necessarily pick on anyone, but just that's my opinion and my belief, for people to actually do their part towards doing a better job of taking care of their muscles, taking care of their bones, being active so that they can do stuff for and by themselves. Not to say to never need someone's help, but to, or that it's a weakness to ask or need help, especially if you need it, compared to just wanting it, or wanting people to do stuff for you. So, you know, especially if there's ways for you to try to do your workouts and stuff like that, and to, depending on what you consider fun, for the workouts to actually to be fun. So, that's how I feel about that, and that's what I wanted to share. Been meaning to say it for a while, but trying to figure out whether or not I was going to do it live, or just record it. So, you know, do what works for you, with high hopes that what you think actually works for you, compared to you just settling for whatever decision you might make. So do what works for you. Hopefully you enjoy it, and then even whether you enjoy it or not, just the fact that it's important to do it. And thankfully, I've been in love with this stuff for decades, to where it's working for me in terms of what I'm able to do, and how I will be able to help others if I can and want to. And hopefully you're good to do that too. Whether you, whatever the difference is between you being able to and wanting to. So, hopefully this motivates any number of you to hopefully get moving if you're not already, especially for the people that I know that are in their mid 50s, if not early 60s and older. Hopefully for those of you that might actually see this, to hopefully get going, instead of waiting till you end up in the hospital for certain reasons that probably could have been avoided if you were actually more active, instead of sitting around watching TV, or watching everybody else live their life on your phone with social media, and whatever else that certain people are doing that doesn't involve them getting up to move, or the constant complaining of not being able to walk a certain distance without being out of breath. That's nobody else's fault but yours, depending on the situation per person. So, hopefully this helps certain people to get started. And then for those who actually want help in terms of getting started and doing certain things to increase their strength, increase their balance, to make sure they have strong bones, to have stronger bones if you already know you don't. I'm the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, and with online personal training, I can definitely help you if you just send a DM, so we can figure out what your thing is, and we can get you started in ways that work for you. Hopefully you're doing well. If not, hopefully you will be. This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Take care.